Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Sony SEL28F20 F20, priced at $450 US. This is the least expensive full-frame E-mount piece of glass ever made by Sony. More significantly, it's also one of the best values, and I say that because this 28mm f2 prime lens has some great results, at least from what I've seen thus far. It's also a very flexible piece of glass because you have the option of picking up either a 21 or 16mm fisheye wide-angle lens adapter for it, priced at $250 and I think roughly $300 respectively. So that makes it flexible beyond just its form factor and overall general performance at that very low, again the least expensive of any E-mount lens to date that is full frame, $450 US. So you can see the lens hood right here. And this is a perfect match for your A7, A7 Mark II, A7R, A7S, or VG900, as well as any other successor that will come out down the road to refresh the A7R or A7S. We've got our paperwork right here, but I want to get to the lens and also show you what it looks like on a body. So I mentioned performance. Remember, $450 does have limitations. I don't expect perfection from this lens. It does look very similar to E-mount lenses that I have reviewed in the past. The fact of the matter is, though, that we're now dealing with an almost wide-angle full-frame piece of glass and at a very inexpensive price point. So that's what makes this kit-style lens unique, something you would have thought Sony would have brought out alongside the A7 back at launch, but they clearly were more geared towards a higher level of pricing. Now that the system has been out there and has made its way, I think, into broad adoption, they felt it was time to give, again, what should have been there at launch. And with those adapters, this mirrors what they did originally with the APS-C E-mount, something that I enjoyed and had hoped they would eventually bring to the full-frame biz. And they did, thankfully. So let me go ahead and get my A7R. That's what I will be testing this on. Of course, I also have an A6000 that I can use this on, which will have to take crop into account, but otherwise should be a solid pairing as well. So there you can see it on the A7R, the R still being one of my favorite E-mount full-frame bodies out there. I also have the VG900 if I wanted to dabble with that. But this is all about, again, a native full-frame E-mount lens. No stabilization, by the way, that's going to give you great low-light results and do so at a price that is not going to kill you. In addition, as I mentioned earlier, if you do decide to want to get a little more creative, take it out to that 21mm wide angle, get a little wider, or get the 16mm fisheye, that's simply not an option with any other lens that's native to the lineup. And to give you an idea, a little bit of scale, take a look at what the brand new 28 to 240 looks like next to it. While that may seem amazingly small now, I do think that these two lenses make for a fantastic traveling companionship here, because when you think about the focal range that they cover, as well as having a prime in this form factor and stabilization here through 24 to 240, even though we don't have prime, we have the compromise of a zoom. This really does represent, in many ways, an entire system only in two lenses. And then if you have the adapter as well, you just get even more capability. So really compelling glass coming out of Sony these days for the full frame E-mount, and for good reason. It does seem to be the core of their DI business. So I'm excited to share this with all of you, excited to start shooting with it, and of course give feedback. Eventually I probably will get my hands on the adapters, but for right now you'll have to just wait to hear about this kit piece of glass. But the good news is it's really showing that the full frame is now becoming affordable for everyone, and that doesn't mean you have to compromise on results, at least from what I've seen initially on this lens. So any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.